Okay, everybody, how you doing? Long time since I posted, but I'm trying to stay away from the political bullshit because it just makes me want to vomit. So today I saw something that was so disturbing that I felt like, excuse me, I should make a post. The Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia is currently, right now as I'm making this video, in the White House. He got the special treatment, the royal treatment, the red carpet, the horses going by, the flyover, all of this because he is today's Trump's honored guest. Now, for those of you who don't know, Saudi Arabia's record on human rights abuses, one of the worst in the country, in the world, right? Women are just chattel, excuse me, property, for those of you who don't understand the word chattel. And human rights abuses, they don't even care. 7 years ago, an American journalist, Khashoggi, Adnan Khashoggi, working for the New York Times, was killed in Saudi Arabia. He wrote a piece that was not very flattering to the Crown Prince. He wrote it in America, his right to do so. They invited him to the consulate where he was murdered. His body was chopped up into little pieces and they carried it out in suitcases. Now, the National Defense, the National Intelligence Agencies of America concluded that in all likelihood, with a high degree of certainty, almost 100% certain, that Khashoggi was killed on order from the Crown Prince. He didn't like the piece that he wrote. He ordered his death. Now, Trump can't point the finger and say, well, it was Joe Biden, because Trump never wants to take responsibility for anything. And why can he not do that? Because it was Trump's CIA, it was Trump's national defense, it was Trump's intelligence agencies, he was the president at the time, that came to that conclusion. Okay, and now, after murdering the American citizen, chopping him up, Trump says, well, Khashoggi's a good guy. And what does he say? I mean, the Crown Prince is a good guy, not Khashoggi. Let me tell you what he said about the American citizen who got murdered, Adnan Khashoggi. You ready? Quote, he was a very controversial figure. A lot of people didn't like him, and things happen. Close quote. So when they kill the American, chop him up, things happen. Okay, so let's have a little hypothetical here. Tomorrow, next month, 2 months from now, Trump travels to a foreign nation. Some radicals kidnap him, kill him, chop him up into a bunch of pieces, and carry him out in suitcases. The next day, it makes the news worldwide. Trump is dead. There's the headline. Somebody sees me and says to me, hey, Tom, what do you think about that? You know what I'm going to say? Quote, things happen, close quote. I'm just going to throw Donald Trump's words right back at him. Now, do I advocate for that? No. You see, that would be illegal. And I'm not allowed to do that. So I will not advocate for it. But if it happened, hypothetically speaking, and someone said to me, what do I think about it? I would say, things happen. That would be my opinion on it. That's my position. Now, just a little cherry on top of the sundae today at the White House, Trump announced that the United States will now sell F-35s to Saudi Arabia. To date, for those of you who don't know what that means, up until now, only our staunchest allies were allowed to buy F-35s. The F-35 is America's greatest warplane, the most technology, the greatest weapon we have, other than a nuclear bomb. When it comes to air superiority, the F-35 rules. Okay, now, China and Saudi Arabia are always playing footsies behind the scenes. Sometimes not even behind the scenes. They're a little close. And Trump is 79 years old, and he's going to do what all 79-year-old men do. Die. He's not in great shape. He'll be dead soon. That's just what happens when you're old. You die. He's nobody special. So, there will be another president, and then subsequently another president, and subsequently another president. And what's going to happen is, ultimately, whoever is the president in the future, there will come a point in time when Saudi Arabia and the United States no longer get along. But then it's too late. You see, because Saudi Arabia already has the F-35s and all the technology, and Chinese, who they're playing footsies with, the Chinese people, the Chinese government will get their hands on an F-35 or 2 or 3 or 10. And then it will be all over for American air superiority. Done. It's over with. That's the way it's going to work. It's only a matter of time. Now, why would Trump sell them F-35s? Well, it's always the same, right? It's about money. It's a dollar amount and there's a transaction. And that's all Trump understands in life. Transactions. Money and power and lying. And why does he lie every time he opens his mouth almost? Because he wants the money and the power. Period. That's it. So now, American air superiority will be compromised. When you view this, write down the date and remember that I said that to you. Remember the day that I said that American air superiority will be compromised. But hey, Trump doesn't care. Money, power, transaction. Done. And when that day arrives and somebody says to me, hey Tom, what do you think about that? You know what I'm going to tell them? Things happen.